Hello, Pastor Deborah here, and we're once again in another episode of our leadership training, our spiritual education about us and the earth and the two kingdoms that are on it. We've been working through a wonderful book teaching I wrote years ago called Spiritual Babylon, the Kingdom of Darkness on Earth and in the Hearts of Humanity. We're picking up in episode number 10, and it's about how the nations became separate from each other, got different languages and culture. And I call the title of this episode, The Confusion of Languages from God, the Beginning of Nations. That's right, originally humanity, after something called the Great Flood, were all told to spread out over the earth like the animals, but they didn't. They stayed together in the land of Shinar under its first king, Nimrod, and Nimrod's wife, Samaris, and their son, Tammuz. And so the kingdom of darkness, spiritual Babylon, began. And God came down. How did he do it? I don't know. He can come down and just look and listen. He can come down on the rays of the sun. He could be there in a bird if he wanted to, or the trees. He has all sorts of ways of watching us, observing us, listening to us. And he heard everything that was going on. He heard the 5 eye wheels of Satan implanted in this king, Nimrod, and the plans for humanity, which was a replica of God's own plans for humanity. So here God says, I'm going to throw a monkey wrench into this situation. And I'm going to divide the nations as I always wanted. And how did he do it? He confused the one language they all were speaking, whatever that was. And he made everybody speak differently. So confusion came. And the place where they were at, the tower, actually became known the Tower of Babel. The word Babel means confusion. So right there, God came down and messed up Satan's plans for a one world government, one nation, one kingdom. And there was a reason for that, which we can talk about later. But we're going to pick up in where we were working in the scriptures in the beginning, and that's in Genesis, which means the beginning of the Authorized King James Bible. We were working through Genesis 18, 1 through 9, and we were exploring our beginnings after the flood. Now there's a whole nother story of before the flood, why the flood had to come, and every culture, every nation, every civilization has a story about the flood. Go do some studying. Do some research into ancient spiritual beliefs and how the world was created and about humanity. You'll be surprised. I think most of you have long forgotten how to study, how to look up for yourself. I think you just stay entertained, play games, don't understand much, sort of follow the leader, follow the herd, and you got some issues. But here in episode number 10, we're going to pick up where I left off. And we had left off where God had come down. As we know, we don't know exactly how. If he actually came down, he could have come down in the rays of the sun, in the air. Could have been in a bird. Don't you ever put it past God. He can use anything. He created it all. Not in the mess that it's in, but he created the basic architect, DNA, forms, species, everything. Even the air you're breathing, he created. Gravity, he created. So he came down, and let's pick up where we left off, Genesis 18. We had just finished verse number 5, and now we're going to pick up in Genesis 18, 1 through 3. So, how did this one true God who created it, he came down to see what was going on down here. And it had become a mess. You go study Babylon. You go study the ancient historians, and you'll learn. All right? Genesis 18, 1 through 3. Verse number 1. Now, I'm reading out of and writing out of the Authorized King James Bible. I use that one because there's no commentaries. But I do have to look up the words in the Webster's Dictionary and the Strong's Concordance. Sometimes I'll have to look up one word, like Lord or God. Now, this book, Genesis, means the beginning. It was written by Moses, the first deliverer of the Bible. And he could read and write. God needs people to be able to read and write. Now, there's a lot of people he uses as storytellers, and you can see that when the population is really ignorant as far as reading and writing. He'll have a play. Ancient Chinese used storytellers in taverns in the city. He used plays. He used poetry to help the people understand many different things. And in ancient Chinese, they actually understood world events through poetry from ancient writers and poets. And they understood what was happening through storytelling and plays and dramas and operas and music. Don't you ever neglect any of that, because it does talk to us. It gives us hearing and visuals for us to understand things we can't see nor hear. So let's begin here in verse number 1 of Genesis 18. And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre. Well, who's him? And he appeared unto this guy named Abraham. And he, Abraham, sat in the tent door in the heat of the city. Now, what is going on? We are learning about how God will come down. He can come down in a physical form, as we're learning here from Abraham. And he will talk to somebody. And he will tell them his judgment on a city or a people. And that's what we're learning here. This is giving us support for God coming down, talking to a human about the judgment on a city. As Abraham sat in his tent door in the heat of the day. Verse number 2. And he, Abraham, lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. You're just sitting somewhere, and all of a sudden 3 men show up. Strange. And when he, Abraham, saw them from the tent door, he bowed himself towards the ground. That was honoring them, because he recognized they're not normal people. And even if they were strangers. And you gave respect to a stranger by bowing. Verse number 3. And Abraham said, My Lord. He's already recognized that one of these was his Lord, who he had probably talked to, but had never seen. If now I have found favor in your sight. Could you say that about the God of creation? And ask him if you have found favor in his sight before you even talk to him? And who were these 3 men? One of them was God, the Lord, and 2 of his angels. Don't you ever think God can't come down and manifest himself, show himself in dreams and visions. Maybe as a stranger, maybe as a beggar, maybe as a poor person, a homeless person. He watches to see what you're going to do. Don't you ever think God does not have eyes on you. It's not listening to you, not watching you. He is. And from there, the King James Bible takes us to Genesis 18, 21, and 19, 1 and 13. So let's listen. Verse 21, and I, the Lord, will go down. Now we're back at Babylon. What I wanted you to learn is God can come down in physical form with his angels and talk with you one-on-one if he wanted to. Or he could just come down and hang out individually and walk among us. You might call it a ghost or a spirit. Can he do that? Yes. He surely can. Genesis 18:21. We're now back in Babylon. And the Lord will go down now and see whether they, the people of the kingdom of Babel, are all together according to the cry that he's hearing, which has come unto me. And if not, I will know. He can hear you talking. On the phone, he can hear your emails. He has eyes and ears on humanity, on the angels down here, the kingdom of darkness, the plants, the animals, the nature. He's always listening, looking, paying attention, more than you are. Genesis 19:1. This is with Abraham. And there came 2 angels to the city of Sodom at the evening. God, the Lord, did not go, for his glory and righteousness could not go in the presence of sin and evil. So God won't come directly where it's sinful and evil. He'll send his angels. They're special. They're warriors and soldiers. Verse 13. For we, the 2 angels, will destroy this place, Sodom, because the cry of Sodom, of the people, has waxed on, has grown great before the face of the Lord. And the Lord has sent us to destroy. Now we're going to stop right here. Do you think what you're doing, whoever you are, all around the world, do you think God isn't watching? Whether you're lusting or warring or protesting or yelling or lying about each other, stealing, human trafficking, gambling, drinking, drugging, and all your heart's full of greed, lust. Don't you think he doesn't know exactly what you're thinking, why you're doing it, who you're serving? And he will come down. Just like he did Babylon. Came down to Sodom. And I want to end right there just to put this little warning to you. God might be coming down right now in your life, watching you, listening to you, seeing their desires of your heart, your goals, your purposes, who you're serving. Are you serving his kingdom or the kingdom of darkness? It's Satan himself. Are you serving evil, wickedness? You hate your neighbor. You hate everything. You're a protester against the law, righteousness, truth, and justice. Don't know. Take a look, and we'll get back here with Spiritual Babylon, and you'll learn about this God and humanity and the interactions, and it's not good. All right, I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye-bye.